Arizona has officially made HB 2747 a law. What does this mean for wholesalers? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right on into it.
Hey, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a.
All right, guys. So basically, the cliff notes of what has happened out in Arizona is that the legislature has come together and said, hey, let's put some restrictions on wholesalers out here. There's a new law that requires disclosure from the wholesaler to the buyer and the seller. But I'm going to pop over here into the computer so I can actually show you the law. We can kind of get into the meat of it. Let's do it. All right, guys. So I came across this article. Shout out to Big AZ Media, Big Arizona Media. I came across this article that they put out, and it says, here are the new laws for real estate investors and wholesalers. If you are a real estate investor or a wholesaler, there are new laws that will affect you. Last week, Governor Ducey signed HB 2747 into law, and this new law places disclosure requirements on buyers that enter into residential real estate contracts and then assign the contracts to someone else. In short, HB 2747 applies to real estate wholesalers, as I just said. So here we go. Let's see. So it says, under a typical wholesaling transaction, the real estate wholesaler contracts with the home seller and therefore shops that home around to potential buyers. The wholesaler then assigns the existing real estate contract to one of the buyers. Under this scenario, the wholesaler makes money on the assignment of the contract and never intends to own the home. Pursuant to a new law, a wholesale buyer must disclose in writing to the seller that the buyer is a wholesale buyer. Similarly, a wholesale seller, which is ultimately the same party as the wholesale buyer, must disclose in writing to the buyer that the seller is a wholesale seller that holds an equitable interest in the real property and that the wholesale seller may not be able to convey title to the property. So basically what that's saying is that we have to disclose, whether it's to the seller or to the buyer, we have to actually let them know that we're a wholesaler on the deal, basically. It has to be in writing. All right, so continuing, it says, if a wholesale buyer fails to make the disclosure required by HB 2747, the seller may cancel the contract for sale at any time prior to the close of escrow without penalty and may retain any earnest money paid by the wholesale buyer. In other words, the seller may cancel the purchase contract and retain the earnest money. Notably, if the transaction closes with a contract that does not have HB 2747's disclosure language, the seller cannot later come back and unwind such a transaction. So I think that's kind of interesting. Basically, it's saying that if you don't put the HB 27 language, the HB 2747 language in there, then the seller can't come back and unwind the transaction. So I'm assuming that even if you didn't understand this and you sent someone a contract without this new language, that like technically you can get away with it and they can't come back and unwind the transaction, it looks like, is what they're saying or whatever. Look, I'm not an attorney though, so definitely consult with the attorneys out there. They'll be able to help you out a lot more. Anyway, continuing, it says, if a wholesale seller fails to make the disclosures required by HB 2747, the buyer may cancel the contract for sale at any time prior to the close of escrow without penalty and shall be refunded all earnest money paid by the buyer. So it seems like the biggest penalty that you may have if you do fail to disclose out in Arizona, if you fail to disclose that you're a wholesale buyer or a wholesale seller, the worst penalty is that you either lose your earnest money that you paid to a seller, or the buyer, the potential buyer for that deal, can get their earnest money back, basically. This allows, continuing, it says, this allows the assignee or end buyer to terminate the assignment and receive a return of the earnest money, even if it is designated as non-refundable. Real estate investors, wholesalers should begin the process of updating their contracts in order to comply with HB 2747. If you need sample disclosure language or have any questions about this new law, feel free to contact Patrick McQueen out there in AZ, guys. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this new Arizona wholesaling law. My people out there in Arizona, drop a comment down below. If you're out there in Arizona, let me know. Has this already affected your business? Have you started the process of changing up your contracts or know people that have? Please drop a comment down below. Let's have a conversation as always. Do y'all think that this is going to spread to more states throughout America? I think it is. It's already been spreading. This is a part of the spread right here. I don't think it's going to be slowing down anytime soon, but just I want to kind of keep this video short, sweet, and straight to the point, guys. Just wanted to let y'all know HB 2747 is officially a law. And also make sure that y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really, really helps out a lot. And if y'all want to get swagged out, definitely check out the Real Estate Swag Shop. These are the ringer shirts that you see below this video. Definitely check them out to support the channel. Grab yourself one of the snapbacks or other clothing that we have. And if you want to see more wholesaling news videos, if you want to stay up to date with what's going on out here in the community, definitely check out this playlist right here. I've got other videos talking about other states, other laws, so you can stay up to date and know what's going on out here, guys. Anyway, I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. I hope that y'all staying healthy, staying blessed. And until next time, guys.